What's up, Milwaukee? This is your player partner, Track Lizzie off the Hizzy Track Lacer, here with Ghetto Central Television, doing it 4-on-4 style as only we can do it. And right now, we got one of the fastest rising groups in Milwaukee, basically trying to go from local to internationally known. They stay on the grind. They don't really believe in the word local. They stay doing shows. They stay doing venues like this. We got my man,
Damien Ellis, Black Elephant. What's happening?
and my girl,
What's up, Peace?
Element in the house. Now, I'm gonna start out with the first question, is that usually, instead of me standing in the middle and there's two of y'all right here, it's supposed to be three of y'all most of the time, you know.
Well, it's not supposed to be anything. Black Elephant, the whole idea of Black Elephant is much greater than the members. So the members can constantly change, the band can constantly change, but the music is always consistent. Any Black Elephant album you hear, you're gonna love, regardless of who's on it. What features we have, what artists we have, it's gonna be a banger, non-stop, regardless.
Okay.
The group is always and will be forever Black Elephant, no matter what.
So adding on to that, Day, basically, Verbal was a big part of the group. He's no longer here. Is there like no hard feelings? Was it friction or what?
He just went back to school, do his thing, and we support that. You know what I'm saying? He just went back to school, get his doctorate, and we gonna keep pushing on.
Okay.
You can't front on that. So that's all it is.
Okay, that's love. That's love. I'd like to know, Eat This album, what was the difference, you know what I'm saying, between Eat This album and y'all first album? What was the growth, you know what I'm saying, what went into the process of making that album as opposed to the first time around, and what do y'all feel is like the difference, just like the vibe between the first time out and right now?
Well, with Eat This album, we were more veterans. You know what I'm saying? We knew what we wanted to do. We went in the studio. We knew what we wanted to do, how we wanted to come across, how we wanted to bring it to the people. Whereas with Hiatus, it was an experiment for us. It was our first time doing it as a group, so it took a little bit of us learning. But with Eat This album, it was all set in stone. We knew what we wanted to do. It was fluid, and we didn't have no problems. You know what I'm saying? So it was just knowing the game from the first year veteran to the first year rookie to the second year veteran. That's what we was. We was back to what we were doing.
Okay, look, Element, to you, the average artist, you know, wants to get in the game, they kind of think that record sales is the most important thing. But my personal opinion is your live stage show is the most important thing as an artist. Do you guys agree with that? Do you agree with that personally? And if so, why do you feel so that way?
Well, album sales are important, but you can't sell albums if people don't know who you are. And most record companies and artists nowadays, they do it backwards. They want to put an album out and then they want to tour. What we do is we tour to spread our name so that when we put an album out, they pop. So if people already saw the show, they already heard the music, we sell our albums from hand to hand. They can go to the stores and pick up our album. So our clientele is already there before we drop an album versus trying to gain people and then put the album out.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's what we do.
Speaking of which, I got something that y'all might not know about in my hand. What's the name of this joint right here, Day?
Silver spoons on paper plates. Your boy just turned 30, and so for my 30th birthday, me and my man Liv did a little mixtape. Silver spoons on paper plates, 7, 8 songs on there. Just some experimental stuff. You got some rock stuff. You got some straight hip hop, big boy, boom bap stuff. It's just hip hop stuff. A little mixtape that I did for my birthday. It was a birthday present to all those who have supported me in my career throughout to this point. You know what I'm saying? So I got my kids on there, like my daughter Zari. She made the picture that's right here, and my other daughter Rihanna made the poem that's on the back. So it was like a family thing. You know what I mean? So that's all it was.
Hey, and I was at the Velvet Room that night. It was cracking. Before I go back to Element, could you please say what Silver Spoons on paper plates means? Because it kind of got a deep meaning too.
Silver spoons on paper plates is just don't look past what you hold. and see the negative that you do have. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a silver spoon in your hand, which is your life, your love, the people around you, your crew, everybody that supports you. That's your silver spoons right there. You know what I'm saying? And the paper plates is the hood. You know what I'm saying? It may not look like much, but it's a whole lot going on. So hold on to what you got. You know what I mean? And that's the silver spoons in your life.
That's love. Okay, back to Element. On some other solo endeavors, you know, usually when I watch DVDs, I like to watch the commentary because I learn a lot from watching the commentary. So I was watching a DVD with this cat named LL Cool J and Gabrielle Union, and I heard the director talking a little bit and he said, yeah, that's my niece in the background singing. That's Element. Tell us a little bit about your uncle, man, and the whole Hollywood thing.
Well, my uncle, he does movies, and he did produce and co-wrote Deliver Us for me, but he does a lot of different movies, The Best Man, The Brothers, things like that. So I sent some music out to him just for writing, because I wanted to write for other artists, and I had a song placed, and I thought another artist was going to record my music,
right,
because ultimately that's what I want. I want to hear it, you know, the way that I wrote it. But when they submitted it to the music house, they said that they loved it the way it was. So they decided to go with it, and I was extremely happy, and my uncle was so proud. So it wasn't one of those things like he was my uncle, he hooked me up. Because that normally is a situation, but he's so professional that he sent the song through the regular channels, and it just ended up that they liked what they heard.
And you know what? I was just about to say that because you're familiar with Fantasia.
Oh, yeah.
Fantasia is first cousins with Casey Haley from Jodeci, and she didn't want to use him as a plug to get on.
Right.
She entered American Idol because she said, hey, I got to get it on my own merit. So that was the next question I was going to ask you, so you answered it for me.
Right.